has been serving up Szechuan and Mandarin favorites. The Great Wall is located just north of 50th in France on the Minneapolis-Edina City line. Check them out at greatwallrestaurant.us.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
I haven't got a nickel load, haven't got a dime, haven't got a dime load, haven't got a dime, out of work with trouble on my mind out on the western plain. Can't you hear that whistle blowing? Can't you feel that freight train rolling, moving down the line, moving down the line out on the western plain? With each day that I am gone, I pray no wrong comes to you. While I'm out looking for a job out on the western plain. Can't you hear that whistle blowing? Can't you feel that freight train rolling, moving down the line, moving down the line out on the western plain? Through each town.
Good morning and welcome to Connections Radio Show, where we talk about ideas that matter. We also talk about songs that matter. We talk about all kinds of things that matter. And hosting with me today is Rick Bernardo, and our guest is our friend Larry Long. Welcome, Larry. We're glad you're here.
It's good to be here.
That's a great song.
Thank you. I wrote that song when I was working on a wheat harvest crew from Buck Burnett, Texas to Scranton, North Dakota. And for 3 months, we cut wheat, and cut more wheat.
How did that feel being out in the fields?
You know, it's spectacular. In my early days, I used to hitchhike across Nebraska, and I couldn't wait to get through it because it took forever. Mm-hmm. But on a combine crew, you're going so slow, and the view on every horizon is a different weather pattern. Mm-hmm. I could see like rain, hail, sun shining all in one glimpse, and then the bountiful fields of wheat. Visually, what I remember most is it's like waves on the ocean or water. It just ripples, through the wheat. You become very conscious of the fact of, when you're working on a harvest crew, if you're late by 5 minutes, it could mean the difference between a prosperous year for a farmer or not. I saw hail come in that destroyed hundreds and hundreds of acres of wheat within a flash of a second.
Oh.
And the devastation. And so it's the risk of farming. And, farmers are struggling right now.
Yeah.
Back then it was the grain embargo, but today we have the tariffs. Soybean producers have lost their market entirely because of the policies of this president.
And the challenges of keeping up with their equipment. There's farmers that I know that have like 400 to 800 acres, and they have equipment they've had for many years, and it's not as difficult for them. The larger farms are really struggling, and those are many families maybe that have come together to create a larger cultivation, and it's heartbreaking.
There were 6 million farmers after World War II in the United States, and now there's only 1.7 million. And if you break that down, that's one farmer every 8 minutes gets thrown off the land.
And we're talking with Larry Long. For a little more about him, larrylong.org. Go there and you'll get some sweeping and deep history about the person we're talking with. And he sings and he does wheat
activist.
Harvesting.
Yes.
He does.
We've got a world premiere coming up.
He's got all kinds of activities.
And we have a world premiere coming up.
Yes.
Tractor Aid USA, which was directed and produced by Larry Long, will be featured along with the screening of The Farmer Labor Movement, a Minnesota story, as part of the Farm Aids Week this week events that's under the banner of Lessons in Mobilizing from the Farmer Labor Movement to the 1980s Tractorcades to today. And we have a lot to celebrate today.
We do, because, Farm Aid, we won't cross the picket line.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the Teamsters went on strike, the custodians and the cooks, Farm Aid declared to the U of M that we can't cross the picket line, and Farm Aid may not go on. And just en route to coming to see you,
Mm-hmm.
found out that it was a victory.
Yeah.
They won their strike. Farm Aid's going to continue.
Right.
And it really does speak to what the film showing is going to be about on Tuesday. It's about really celebrating Farmer Labor Coalition. And because Farm Aid refused to cross the picket line, it really forced the University of Minnesota to really expedite the negotiation process, which they refused to do. And overnight, we won.
Who else was saying no to this? Was it Willie Nelson in there? Who else was?
Well, all of Farm Aid, I mean, it includes Willie Nelson, Neil Young.
Okay.
I mean, that's what.
Just wanted to drop down some names aside from
Additional
Larry
names,
Long. Yeah.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Wow.
Okay. I couldn't remember all of them.
Well, we were going to
time.
like have sort of
Jesse Wells.
we were going to have kind of a depressing show because we thought we weren't going to be able to do Farm Aid, but it's on, which is a celebration show. Yeah.
I was so depressed
Yeah,
yesterday, and I woke up depressed.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden I'm really happy. I mean, it's been one heck of a week. I mean, beyond all of this.
Yeah,
I mean,
it has been tough. But I have to believe that your documentary that is going to be an audio visual documentation of the historic farmers tractorcade of 1979 brings us some hope.
it gives a lot of hope. I was actually on that tractorcade, and it took 17 days by tractor to get to Washington, D.C., and it was about 100 miles long by the time we arrived from farmers all over the United States. And so what I did is during that period of time is I interviewed farmers and took photographs plus wrote songs. And so a dear farmer friend, Kent Canton from Milan, Minnesota, reached out to me last spring and said, because during that time I created it as an audio slideshow with a script.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it's time we get it digitized.
Nice.
And so he kicked in $500 and we did it.
That's wonderful.
And that's going to debut during Farm Aid.
Farm Aid. It's all part of the Farm Aid.
It's about a 28-minute documentary video now.
Yeah.
And it will it be featured on YouTube later? It didn't debut just yet.
Actually, it's going to be featured on YouTube at the same time.
At the same time,
Oh,
and then it'll be
wonderful.
there.
Yeah.
I went to look for it a few days ago. It was there, and now it's not there because of the premiere. So good to know.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have 2 minutes of that. We'll play pretty soon.
Sure.
It,
I did want to also
whenever you
mention-
want.
Yeah, mention that it's on September 16th. That's Tuesday, 4 to 6 p.m. It's the Best Buy Theater, Northrop University of Minnesota, and it's free and open to the public. And now we're going to be hearing from Stan DeBoer.
Stan DeBoer was one of the leaders of the American agriculture movement, farm strike tractorcade, and he's out of Nebraska.
All right.
And this is just a little bit from the beginning of the documentary.
So, Patrick, I'll have us do the first clip of Stan DeBoer.
There's no way that this nation can survive with the inflation that we have when one sector is allowed to inflate and the other sector isn't. And be bold enough to put it in print that those of you in industry should try to hold it to 7. And we have a hand on agriculture and they're only going to get 1. That's you. Everybody in this community. Whether you live in town or live in the country, it's the name of the game. If the farmers leave the land, the community's going with it. It's very evident in all of these small towns, they're dying right alongside of the road because of the lack of people. The people in the country is what made the service jobs available in the small towns. Let's not let them take it all. We can't be fat and unemployed. That's where we're headed. You know, about 20 years ago, I remember when they said that, boy, we in the Midwest were really going to reap the harvest. Industry was moving out. And let's look through it. Why were they moving out? They were moving out because they figured out and found out that there was people out in Nebraska that still worked for $1.50 an hour. That's why they went out there. They didn't go out there because they liked you. They went out there because they knew there was going to be a lot of farm boys that weren't going to be on the land and they could outproduce any type of individual there was. If they put them in a factory and pay them $1.50 an hour, they'd get filthy, stinking rich. Anytime a union come in to check on it, to vote on it, they tell the people that, look, if you vote this in, we'll close the door. And so they didn't.
It's amazing how it comes back and it's just as powerful today and as applicable to today.
And that was Stan DeBoer.
Stan DeBoer, and he's now 90 years old. And
Wow.
Actually, I'll get a chance to see him again this year down in Texas at American Agriculture Movement Gathering. He was one of the most articulate farmers to really talk about the Farmer Labor Coalition, because we got to get back to these bread and butter issues.
And we're going to hear more from the documentary, but from peeking at it earlier, everything I saw there is still a problem today.
It is. It
Yeah.
was very prophetic.
This was from 1979.
Right.
If anything, some of it's worse.
It is worse.
Yeah.
We have fewer
Yeah.
farmers. Back then it was the embargo. And as I mentioned, now the tariffs. And it's going to decimate so much of the rural economy.
Well, the theme of our show today is lessons in mobilizing, and we look forward to having you stay with us. There's so much to celebrate in this wonderful film, but there's also a call to action with it. And how can we continue to tell the story? And we'll be right back.
Get ready for the music event of the season. Powderhorn Porch Fest returns Saturday, September 20th, 4 to 10 p.m. for another legendary evening of 13 epic performances across 3 uniquely Powderhorn Porch stages featuring genres from hip-hop, R&B, surf punk, Latin folk, and more. Powderhorn Porch Fest spans 2 blocks on 17th Avenue South between 32nd and 34th Street. KRSM will be spinning beats with the diverse sounds of the South Side all night long. Treat yourself to Minneapolis' favorite food trucks, then grab a refreshing cold drink at the Beer Garden. The festival's family-friendly by day with activities for kids and an unforgettable celebration for adults after dark. Best of all, Powderhorn Porch Fest is free to attend, with proceeds supporting the community programs of the Powderhorn Park Neighborhood Association. Don't miss out on this one-of-a-kind music and community celebration. Powderhorn Porch Fest, September 20th, 4 to 10 p.m. Details at ppna.org/porchfest.
Hey, I'm Paige Kale, host of Reckoning with Real Estate. Each week, we take an inside look at the housing world from a fresh, consumer-friendly perspective. We'll cover everything from the history of housing to today's market challenges and opportunities. We'll also chat with clients, experts, activists, and community leaders about what home really means. Whether you're buying, selling, or care about housing justice, join us for the debut of Reckoning with Real Estate this Sunday at 11 a.m. Podcast anytime or watch on Facebook and YouTube.
Find a wide selection of outdoor hearth products at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces. Whether you prefer wood or gas, Woodland Stoves has the fire to fit your home. Pizza aficionados know nothing matches masonry oven baking for capturing flavor and nutrition. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces can easily install one in your home or business. Enthusiasts use these ovens year-round for bread making, wood roasting, even grilling.
The mission and passion of Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces is to make the fire work for you. The way humans relate to fire is primordial. We have used fire to warm our bodies, cook our meals, and kindle our spirits. Our team has the know-how to do this in a clean burning and environmentally smart way. Visit our store and experience the diversity. We have over 35 working units on display at the corner of Riverside and East Franklin. See us online at woodlandstoves.com. Find the fire that fits and works for you.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
The place for live music is the Park Tavern. Live music takes over the Park Tavern's dog-friendly patio. Head over on Tuesday, September 16th, it's Colby Streka. Wednesday, September 17th, it's Meat Raffle Ska. And on Thursday, September 18th, it's the Gut Buckets. Music runs from 5:30 to 8 p.m. and reservations for groups of 8 or more are recommended. And the Park Tavern offers private and semi-private spaces for small and large groups on Louisiana Avenue north of Highway 7 in St. Louis Park. Outdoor live music is on at the Park Tavern.
I hope you all get a chance before this is over to get in a car and drive with the traffic and see those tractors and then turn around and drive the other way on the interstate. What a sight. Beautiful. Anyone who sees that will never, ever forget it. And anyone in his right mind who doesn't sit back and say, hey, there must be something wrong, or these sensible farmers wouldn't be doing such a crazy thing.
And that was in 1979.
And it was Father Andrew Gottschalk who came out of Kansas, and he was an absolutely wonderful, amazing human being. He was right there with the people. And, you know, I'm a real lover of the book, The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, and of course, Woody Guthrie, on whose tradition I walk. And he was like the Preacher Casey of the American ag movement.
Wow. We'll hear more from him later, but he just seems like such a character, and I mean that in the moral way as well.
Yeah.
You know.
And you're listening to Connections Radio Show here on AM 950. I'm your host, Lori Fitz, and I'm co-hosting with Rick Bernardo. And we have Larry Long, our dear friend, coming to talk to us about Farm Aid and about a premiere that's coming up. Tell us a little bit about the premiere.
The premiere is this Tuesday. And I think you have the notes with you more than I do, but it's in the universe.
I do. It's Tuesday from 4
you have to
6.
show up for it.
It's in the Best Buy Theater at the Northrop University of Minnesota. It's free and open to the public, and it really celebrates the 1979 Farm Aid. And a question that I had for you right after we were talking in the first segment is, do you think we could mobilize like that again?
I'll give you a quote that actually is, you know, part of my film is that we also went out and we interviewed people. Kent Canton went out to his farm and we filmed some thoughts from him. And then also I've been in communication with David Center, who's the president of the American Agriculture Movement. And he's also the Farm Aid historian. When Willie Nelson wanted to start Farm Aid, he called up David Center, because David is a farmer out of Texas, and got David Center's support. And David Center has been to all 40 Farm Aids.
Wow.
And has been an anchor. But what he said in the film, and I'll quote him. He says, "I drove my tractor from Texas to Washington, D.C. What came out of the tractorcade, the important thing to me, was family farmers got together, all speaking for family farm agriculture, supporting family farm agriculture, wanting their kids and grandkids to have the same opportunity to farm as they did. That was the important thing. Family farmers finally figuring out they could get together and speak with one voice. Now we're in a new farm crisis with low prices. The next generation of family farmers is at risk, and we all have to figure out how to get involved and support family farmers in the struggle so we know where our food comes from and who produces it." And I think that that's what what really came out of the Tractorcade was that sense of solidarity that you also find within the farm economy. You have those who produce milk and eggs, then you have wheat and corn and soybeans, you have the organic producers and the non. So it's like there's varying economic, issues that relate to each of these products that are produced. And sometimes when the wheat farmers are doing terrible, the dairy farmers are doing great. The soybean farmers right now are getting devastated.
Where are they selling?
But some of the cattle producers are doing better. So it's it's very, very difficult. But I would say, what can we do now? I would say, go to farmaid.org, visit their website, because they're also not just involved in rural farming, but urban farming. Farm Aid has been doing such tremendous work with both rural and urban farming networks, and also with not strictly traditional farming, but new practices of farming. And so that's what I would urge people to do.
And to join the voice. I love how you said one voice. Be able to come together with one voice.
And it's critical. It's critical in these times, like in the Great Depression, that we begin to create farmer labor alliances, workers in the city joining and linking hands with farming people, just like what we experience today. The victory of the Teamsters of the University of Minnesota. Farm Aid had a huge handle on that, because the loss economically the U of M would have gotten if they pulled out would have been astronomical, plus publicity negative with CNN. It's going to be live on CNN.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Whenever you want, Lori, we've got 3 or 4 minutes of more of Father Andrew Gottschalk.
Let's bring in Dr.
This is from 1979.
Yeah, let's bring in Father Andrew Gottschalk. I think he speaks to this as well.
When we gathered around the state capitol in Colorado last year, Denver, and I saw the crowd out there, and I had seen the Tractorcade, I felt so good. Finally, farmers getting off of their duffs and getting the story into the city to tell our city cousins. As long as the food's on the grocery shelves, folks, they don't know you exist. And they still don't know. And I don't know how we're going to tell them. Somehow I hope the Lord helps us find the answer. But I remember looking out and seeing that crowd, and I felt so good. Finally, you're not only bitching over your coffee and beer out in the country, you're here in town, where it has to be. The tractor in the city is out of place. The tractor coming down the streets of Columbus today they were out of place. And if people in their right minds don't figure that out, then I don't have much hope for this country. So I'll close with a little story that I used at the beginning when this movement started in Denver. It's about the little Catholic boy that came home from school. He was playing around in the room, and the mother asked him, she said, "Son, what did you learn in religion today?" And he demurred a little and didn't want to, "What did you learn? What did sister teach you today?" So he says, "Well, we learned all about Moses leading the people out of the promised land." "Well, can you tell me about it?" And he was quiet for a while, and then finally he began. He says, "Yeah." He started leading them across the desert, and they were all in their jeeps heading for the sea, and they looked back and they saw the Egyptians coming in tanks. They got to the seashore and they got into their amphibious boats, started across. Then the Egyptians came with their dive bombers. Then Moses told them to get out the Ack guns, and they shot them all down. And the mother looked at him and she said, "Johnny, is that really the way sister told you the story?" And he says, "Well, no, Mom, no. Mom, the way she told it, you'd never believe." Fellas, after this is over, when you go back and people ask you what all happened in Washington, I hope you can say, "You'll never believe." My name is Father Andy Gottschalk. I'm from the Archdiocese of Denver. I'm the Catholic Rural Life Director for that Archdiocese.
You will never believe.
It
we
was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very moving. And you capture that in your new film.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. We're excited about it.
That's from the film. And LarryLong.org is where you can go to see who we're talking with.
And Larry is the director and producer and gatherer of all of these wonderful moments that maybe can reawaken our faith in being able to mobilize. Stay with us. We'll be right back after some commercials here on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
The place for live music is the Park Tavern. Live music takes over the Park Tavern's dog-friendly patio. Head over on Tuesday, September 16th, it's Colby Straka. Wednesday, September 17th, it's Meet Raffle Ska. And on Thursday, September 18th, it's the Gut Buckets. Music runs from 5:30 to 8 p.m. and reservations for groups of 8 or more are recommended. And the Park Tavern offers private and semi-private spaces for small and large groups on Louisiana Avenue north of Highway 7 in St. Louis Park. Outdoor live music is on at the Park Tavern.
Eat Local Minnesota is a great way to find locally owned Minnesota restaurants and food purveyors. You'll find high-quality food and unique eating experiences with dishes from around the world. Just visit eatlocalminnesota.com for your next meal. Crooner's Supper Club offers a classic nightlife experience with 4-star food, drinks, and entertainment. Enjoy local, national, and international artists in the main stage, Dunsmore Jazz Room, or outdoors at the Belvedere Under the Stars. Or relax at Maggie's Lounge. Find your perfect concert experience at croonersmn.com. Crooner's Supper Club, where old school charm meets modern nightlife. Cafe Latte combines a cafe dining experience with gourmet quality food. Plus, you can still do online ordering and takeout along with gift cards. Just go to cafelatte.com and choose from their ever-changing selection of award-winning salads, sandwiches, and soups. Cafe Latte is located off Victoria and Grand and online at cafelatte.com.
When was the last time you had your roof inspected for extreme weather and hail damage? This is Chad, owner of AM 950, to talk about the exterior construction company I trust, Snap Construction. If you've noticed new roofing projects in your neighborhood, your home was likely hit by hail last summer and experienced damage. Snap Construction is helping homeowners like you, and they're the roofing specialists I trust. They are the most well-reviewed contractor in the Twin Cities and have a ton of positive customer reviews from homeowners just like you. Even better, Snap Construction's installations are backed by a lifetime warranty, so you know you're dealing with a qualified roofing expert. You want to work with a company that will be here for a long time after the work is done. Snap Construction has handled thousands of claims and will help you through the process. Do yourself a favor and get a free roofing inspection so you have the facts and peace of mind you deserve. Call Snap Construction today at 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP. Or visit snapconstruction.com.
Hey, this is Brad Friedman, your friendly investigative blogger, journalist, troublemaker, and all-around swell fellow, says me, from bradblog.com. Join me and Desi Doyen weeknights on AM 950 at 7 p.m. for the Bradcast. 1 hour of interviews, analysis, news, and snark that you need but won't get from the corporate media. Join me for the Bradcast, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Partly sunny today with a high of 85, then tonight cloudy with a low of 68. For more than 40 years, the Great Wall Restaurant has been serving up Szechuan and Mandarin favorites. The Great Wall is located just north of 50th in France on the Minneapolis-Edina City line. Check them out at greatwallrestaurant.us.
You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Beneath your coat and too long tie, there's a burning cross you can't hide. Stand the bridges you built once, all for you and none for all. White sheets in the White House, everybody's screaming shout. White sheets in the White House, time to drive them white sheets out.
Good morning. I'm Lori Fitz, and welcome to Connections Radio Show, where we talk about ideas that matter. I'm glad you've joined the conversation today. Our topic today is lessons in mobilizing, and hosting with me is Rick Bernardo and our guest, the very talented Larry Long, singer, producer, director, activist, a beacon of hope.
And grandfather.
Congratulations.
5 grandchildren.
Oh my goodness.
And today I'm driving with my oldest daughter out to visit my oldest granddaughter at her first year of college.
Wow. How did that happen? How does that happen?
No.
The grandchildren are for me from 18 to 1 years old.
Oh my gosh. That is
love-
a blessing.
I love being a granddad.
That is you. I bet you make a good granddad.
I'm sure it's fun.
I give my best.
Good.
I've written them all a song.
Oh,
yeah.
And I actually released a recording called "Songs for My Grandchildren," and
what a wonderful legacy to leave.
it's on Bandcamp. You can actually
Bandcamp. Yeah, I've been there.
or you go to my website. You can get there,
Yeah.
and you can listen to songs for free.
And go to larrylong.org, and it's got all the resources there as well.
And you were at the No Kings rally in June,
I was, yeah.
and
I was there.
and you were there too, Rick.
I was there. I witnessed him being there.
And it was a tough time.
It was.
No, I was just nodding loud.
It was very difficult, obviously, because there was the assassination of our legislator by an assassin who happened to come out of a far right perspective, an evangelical perspective, and this is a time that we really have to begin to focus on nonviolence, and we have to put an end to this and control assault weapons, and find some better way.
There's so many different issues that get pulled into it. Yes, there's mental health, but yes, do we really need AR weaponry? Do we really need assault? Is it really smart to have that kind of access? I mean, you can't trace guns like you can trace a car. You can buy a car and you know how many people have owned it, where it was, where you bought it from. And with guns, you don't.
And there was a parent from Annunciation with that tragic assault on children, and the parent had said, they came out strongly to ban assault weapons, and then he simply said that if you believe your assault weapons mean more to you than your children or my children, then speak it out loud. Say it out loud that your gun is more important than my child or your child. We really need to personalize this, and I don't find it any violation to the Second Amendment. And the reality is that, there are restrictions that are made on hunting, and I don't hear people screaming about Second Amendment rights.
Yeah.
The fact is that putting controls on weapons of war is not attacking gun owners and people who want to hunt and so forth. And so do my friends who do hunt, and
you would not take an assault rifle to go hunting.
Actually, are leading the campaign for the banning of assault weapons. Yes. You don't do that when you hunt.
No.
And one thing from my teaching ethics over the years is all of this conversation totally makes sense. And yet I don't think it's the authentic conversation that's happening in politics. I think money is paying to pave it all over and just say some of these other things that I don't think they really probably even believe.
It's all tied. I mean, when I was touring through South America and performing, all of the guns that they get down there, and even through Central America and the cartel, comes from United States manufacturers of weaponry. And the fact is, if we want to control even the drug trade, the cartels, we need to control weapons.
Right.
But there's big money.
I love your song, that is I Don't Believe in Violence.
Thank you.
And I'd like to have Patrick play that for us.
Someone strikes, I won't strike back. If they strike again, I will not attack. I'd rather talk on their bones crack. I don't believe in violence. Streets are filled with gang warfare. Some people don't mind, they just don't care. When children get killed, it's never fair. I don't believe in violence. Talk of war in the news, Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Palestine too, it all comes back to me and you. I don't believe in violence. Nuclear missiles and tomcats, stealth bombers and poison gas, oil spills and M1 tanks. I don't believe in violence.
Beautiful song. When did you write that?
There's a story behind that. I was actually working with students in Stillwater, with 7th and 8th grade students, and they were reading the speeches of Dr. Martin Luther King. And I simply asked, what do you think Dr. King would have to say about the times we're in? And together we wrote that. But then I did a rewrite of it to connect with the times we live in now. And before the No Kings rally, when I woke up and heard about the assassination of our legislator, I thought, I really need to bring this song back out. And so I changed what I was going to play. And I sang that song. And then with Rock the Cause, I went in the studio and I re-recorded it. And now it's up on Spotify and all digital channels. So it's a new release.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I remember hearing you play that at the Capitol, and it was quite moving. The whole day was moving. We were told, as you know, not to show up because of the violence. And
the shooter
was still at large.
Was still at large. And when we were on stage, we were told by Indivisible. I do want to give a shout out to Indivisible. Mm-hmm. I mean, Indivisible are all these volunteers from all over the country and all over Minnesota, rank and file people that are really concerned about what's going on. And they're organizing. And I just want to thank them. As a matter of fact, I have a benefit concert tomorrow for Indivisible up in St. Cloud that I'm really excited about. Yeah.
We'll talk about that. We'll mention that later too.
Sure.
I've got that listed.
We'll get more of that. I'm struck by right now there's so much fear. You know, there's politicians on both sides that are scared. You know, they are scared that they're not getting enough protection. They're scared that the violence is ramping up.
Everybody's scared. I'm scared. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, as a matter of fact, now I find myself making sure that all the doors are locked, and I never used to. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm also a public figure as a singer, and I have a perspective, and I do look around because you know, the genie's out of the bottle. And when politicians are saying despicable words about refugees and new immigrants, calling them vermin and other derogatory words,
it hypes it up.
It hypes up. And then then also when people on the left start to throw their words around, mm-hmm. You know, we have to start to show a greater respect. I mean, my family's divided right down the middle between the left and the right. And so I love my uncle and aunt mm-hmm. in Des Moines, Iowa greatly, but they do not share my perspective. And but I won't allow the politics to break our family apart. And we must not allow our politics to break our nation apart.
Sometimes people have similar values, but the information they're getting about the world is in a silo that's also paid for by money. And I have family members like that too. All the information they're getting is different than what we know to be true. Your concert tomorrow is 2 to 4 in St. Cloud.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's go to pp5.com, pp5, just spell that out, .com for tickets. That's in St. Cloud at Pioneer Place. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
It seats 210 people, and I think there's
Ooh.
20 tickets left.
Oh my
So
gosh.
now's the time to get them.
Yes. Yes.
And that's Let Freedom Sing is the name of that's what you look for. Let Freedom Sing.
And with that, the dignity of being human and being American is deeply respected in I Don't Believe in Violence. I mean, we can disagree. We can go to campuses and we can have differences of opinions and debate, but life is sacred.
It's sacred for all of us. Yeah.
And respecting that is important. Thank you for I Don't Believe in Violence music. And I hope that it continues to get heard and get played and get received in our hearts. Because when we don't believe in violence, we can say no. And we can work together. When we start to feel that there is something amiss, when we start to see words get violent, how do we work together?
And I want to say it takes a lot of courage to take stands like what you're talking about here, Larry. It takes courage for that. In the face of the president yesterday being asked, how can we come together? He literally said, I could care less. So that's
But on
the
the
context.
other hand, the Utah Republican governor
Yeah.
said, come together.
Yeah.
Be
So
at
we want to
peace,
listen to that.
have vigils.
We want to listen to that.
So it doesn't have to be bipartisan. I mean, it should be bipartisan, the call for peace.
I mean, it's really important to be proactive and to speak your piece.
Yes.
To speak your piece.
Both PIECE and PEACE.
But at the No Kings, we were Indivisible was told to shut it down, and we were told we couldn't sing, and but then we said we want to sing,
yeah,
and so they let us sing, and then our Attorney General spoke, and that was it. But there was a great amount of fear. And I know that when I got up on stage to sing, I did think about, who knows?
Right.
Who knows?
There were tens of thousands of people there. Do you want to hear a little more of that song?
A little bit, but before
80,000.
I want to just
Yeah.
say one last thing before we go to the music, and that is one of the musicians we had on the show in this last year said the only time that they're not afraid is when they sing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is something to think about in terms of as we speak our piece and we support our piece, we can sing our piece.
Right.
And when we sing our piece, perhaps that's where we can let go of some of our fears.
Yes.
And with that, let's go to some music.
I once worked for a man, made and repaired old violins. Few have ever known the trade quite as well as him. He tooled down an old piece of spruce.
Hello, everyone. I am Becky McNatt, along with Tara Martini, hosts of Feels Out Loud, brought to you by Becoming Together Therapy and Wellness. This Sunday, tune in as we explore travel anxiety and how to cope with this.
If you have a question regarding travel anxiety, visit our website at becomingtogethermn.com and locate the Feels Out Loud page. We may just share your question on the show. So join us on Sundays at 9 a.m. to live and share mental health together.
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
Discover a world of foods. Visit Shanghai International Wholesale Market, a spacious food warehouse open to the public with discounts for buying in bulk. Incredible selection of global and local foods, 500 different types of noodles, specialty items, and local foods you won't find anywhere else. Shanghai Wholesale Market. your local international food warehouse. Shanghai is just north of University Avenue off of Pryor.
This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, weekdays at 5 p.m. On our show, you'll hear about Native issues like treaties, protecting Mother Earth, and holding our elected officials accountable. Weekly correspondents like Dr. Stately, State Senator Mary Kunesh, Robert Lilligren, and Bob Blake update us with the latest news from Turtle Island. Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Listen weekdays at 5 p.m. or watch the show on Native Roots Radio social media accounts. Ho-wah!
Attention event planners and festival organizers. This is Frank Brown from Minuteman Press Uptown, your union print shop partner for your next event. We're here to check items off your list and make your event the talk of the town. From stunning banners and eye-catching signage to programs, tickets, and name badges, we print everything. Get promotional products at prices that let you load up on merch and fill those swag bags. Make your event unforgettable with Minuteman Uptown. Visit us at mpuptown.com.
This is Katty, your host of Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution brought to you by Minnesota Recovery Connection. Join me Saturdays at 10 a.m. on AM 950 for an honest conversation about substance use disorder, harm reduction, and the many pathways to recovery. Recovery isn't just a one-size-fits-all. Every journey is unique. Together, we're changing the way substance use disorder is seen and how recovery can look for every individual. Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution, Saturdays at 10 a.m. on AM 950.
I once worked for a man, made and repaired old violins. Few have ever known the trade quite as well as him. He tooled down an old piece of spruce with his oaken hand, and the closest friends that he had were them violins. I made his first fiddle when he was only 10 years old. With an old jackknife he whittled down his first scroll. The body of that fiddle was an old cigar box. Later on he used 200-year-old wood to make them fiddle tops. And his eyes, they would shine when he'd start to play on one of them fiddles that he handmade. Like a master surgeon that could give a blind man sight, took an old piece of wood and he brought it back to life.
Welcome back to Connections Radio Show, where we talk about ideas that matter. I'm Lori Fitz, your host, and my co-host is Rick Bernardo. And we have our dear friend Larry Long joining us today. And our topic has been lessons in mobilizing and hearing about all the wonderful things that are coming up this next week with Farm Aid.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
It's good to be back.
You're busy.
Actually, that song that we just played is Matthias Dahl, the violin maker. And that song, along with Western Plains that was played earlier, are both on my first vinyl record called Living in a Rich Man's World. And it just got re-released through Rock the Cause. It's now available. But Matthias Dahl, when I was in college in St. Cloud, where I'll be singing tomorrow, on my last quarter, I had an independent study where I worked with Matthias Dahl and apprenticed in Minneapolis. It was across from Schmidt Music, right down the block from the Dakota Jazz Club. Oh. And Matthias Dahl, as he said to me, he said, you know, my missus and I couldn't have children, but these violins are mine. Oh. And I think it really speaks to the importance of of people really archiving the times in which we live, because
And honoring them and honoring the people that have influenced us.
and honoring them. And the word honor, which Rick, I'm sure knows,
I know that word.
The root of the word is simply to listen.
I did not know that.
To suspend judgment and to listen. And by doing so, you honor that person. And like when I was listening to the Tractorcade recording, nearly brought me to tears, because like Father Andrew Gottschalk is gone now, but his voice is still here. His spirit is still here.
And it still speaks to us.
And Matthias Dahl, through song, his spirit lives on. And
this is all part of the archives also that you're creating, right?
yeah, I have good news to announce about that. I donated my archives to the University of Minnesota, and they just received a $300,000 grant, and it's all being digitized. And they hired a full-time archivist. None of that returns to me financially, but spiritually, it gives back the legacy of the work.
And it keeps the word going.
And so in 2.5 more years, we're going to have a big celebration of this, and it will include 2,000 songs I've written and interviews of elders from around the United States.
You did that in Minnesota at one point, correct? You went around and you collected stories.
Oh, actually, I did a lot of it in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, probably over 500 of the interviews are in the West Metro.
Interesting.
In the inner city. So, and a large chunk is in rural America. So it's a way of bridging the narratives of amazing elders, together into a patchwork quilt that makes up our country.
And perhaps this can continue to help us mobilize.
And in St. Louis Park, I want to announce that they've integrated my curriculum, Elder Wisdom Children's Song, into the elementary music department. And so St. Louis Park School District has now honored through my methodology, I don't know, maybe 40 other elders, including the mayor now of St. Louis Park, who happens to be the youngest mayor to have been elected, who happens to be Somali. And including our Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, they honored.
Yes.
It's great.
So, I mean, those are some people we know, but it's the unsung heroes and sheroes. So, yeah.
I love it. Well, for more, to learn about Larry Long, you can go to larrylong.org. And if you can, I'm going to be there. I'm going to go see the world premiere on Tuesday.
Tractorcade 1979 documentary.
It's on Larry Long Troubadour YouTube. You can see it there at the same time.
All right.
You can't make it there.
We
Larry
hope you'll join us there and join us next week. Thanks for being part of Connections Radio Show.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, I'm Rachel Shamblatt. My dad is Dr. Scott Shamblatt from Shamblatt Family Dentistry. A lot of people are afraid of the